Hi there.
Well, thank you.
This video's called
Thank
Live.
you for having
It's
me on.
streamed.
Before I do that, obviously, you talked about it
Techno.
being a nightmare. I absolutely appreciate that this has been a nightmare for those people affected, and I want to
You name it,
sincerely
guys.
apologise to every single person. I know how frustrating it is, how distressing it is, how angry it makes you when your flight is delayed or cancelled, and we absolutely
Air traffic control.
that is not something that we
Chaos.
want to happen. In terms of your question as
Travel.
to how
Airport.
we ensure this doesn't
Video.
happen again,
UK 23.
these are incredibly rare events. That doesn't make them any less distressing or any less
Time's down
disruptive,
there, and it is the
but they are
30th of August.
incredibly rare events.
Wednesday,
What we do
2023.
is make sure that we handle 2 million flights a year safely and efficiently, and very occasionally we have a problem, and very occasionally that problem is of a magnitude that causes this level of disruption. In this particular instance, we know it was caused by some data that our systems weren't expecting. They are designed to fail in a way that means we revert to manual processing, so our controllers do more themselves, because that is a much safer way of doing things. It is not ideal in terms of moving people quickly, but it is safe, and that is our overriding priority. And that's what we've been working on since the operation was back up and running fully back on Monday at about 2:30.
Okay, so when you say about data you weren't expecting, what does that mean exactly?
Aye.
So we're still investigating, as you would expect, and in fact we promised a report to the Secretary of State for Transport by Monday on this, and we're investigating very thoroughly. But our early indications are that we receive millions of flight plans every year, in fact hundreds of thousands every day, and the flight plan is something that tells us where the aircraft is going, what route it's taking, what height
it's not too far from Ports Harbour.
One of those came in and was not sufficiently standard. It was formatted in a way and described in a way that made it very difficult for our system to process. That means that in those circumstances, if all other things fail, as in if they cannot work out how to present data safely to the controller, we revert to manual processes, and that allows us to safely get everybody to their destinations.
It seems extraordinary to me sitting here that one little bit of flight data being incorrect could throw the entire airspace of the country out for what, days?
Well, so I think there's a couple of things there. I would absolutely agree. It is extraordinary. It hardly ever happens. And in fact, the last time anything of this nature, as in this scale of disruption, happened was back in 2014. So you're right, it is extraordinary and extremely rare. As I said before, you are absolutely right around the disruption. Our systems were back up and operating at about 2:30 on Monday, so a couple of hours after the incident was first detected. But unfortunately, this time of year, obviously the entire aviation system, airlines, airports, are all working at complete capacity because everybody's flying. So it's that then leads to the length of time it takes to recover the entire system.
Obviously, there are lots of passengers who are really frustrated and trying to change their plans, and they're out of pocket. They're wondering how they're going to get their monies back. Lots of airlines as well are really angry about this because they're the ones who are having to reschedule, and some of them pointing the fingers at you guys and saying, you know, you should be held responsible. You should be the ones who are paying out and compensating people here.
So we fully take responsibility for the failure on Monday and have worked incredibly hard since then to make sure that we've had an entirely normal service. Obviously, there are very well-established processes for how passengers are looked after by airlines, and that's all been very clearly set out by correspondents like Simon Calder and the Secretary of State and others. In terms of our responsibility to the airlines, we take that very seriously as well, and we are working incredibly closely with them to make sure that we help them recover as quickly as they possibly can and as efficiently as they possibly can.
But can you understand it? If somebody's watching the programme this morning and they haven't been able to get home, or they're not going to be able to go on holiday, they can't get any money from their airline or their insurance, and they might say, right, I want some money from them.
You guys pay up.
Well, I can absolutely understand everybody's frustration, and I sincerely.
They're not going to pay up, are they? You're not going to pay out your own pocket of your money, are you, from your company?
Excellent service all year round, every single day, and we mostly do. In terms of those passengers, they obviously have rights, and I think that's been well explained. There are very well established mechanisms for how those passengers are supported, and they should not be out of pocket as a result of this.
And just finally, I guess this is a question of confidence, isn't it? There'll be people thinking about future holidays and thinking, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to face this kind of disruption myself.
I'm not flying any longer.
That after what you've learned in the last couple of days, nothing like this can happen again?
So obviously we've worked incredibly hard since we restored the service back on Monday to make sure that this type of event
happened
doesn't happen
again.
again. Now we operate
So soon, you guys will see so screwed.
Country and half of the North
Your
Atlantic
company
Ocean,
was a
and
shut
we
down.
work extremely hard to make sure that failures like this, or in fact any failures that cause disruption to passengers, is minimised. So we are confident that these are rare events. We are confident this one cannot happen again. And we are absolutely confident, and everyone should be confident, that whatever happens, we will always keep aircraft safe, and we will always make sure passengers get to their destination eventually safely. We obviously aim to do it on time, but if all else fails, then we will.
You're still behind the times, mate.
That's what we're here for.
Still delays at the airports today.
Executive of the National Air Traffic Services, thank you for joining us.
There you go, guys. I hope you like this video.
Well, that disruption has, as we said, thousands of passengers are still trying to find alternative ways of getting where they need to be.
One of them was Serena Hamilton, supposed to be flying from Belfast to Newcastle for an important hospital appointment to check on her progress following a heart transplant. And Serena actually joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you speaking to us here on Breakfast. Just explain to us what happened to you.
Well, I was to fly to Newcastle on Monday for an appointment on Tuesday morning. I got a message on my app to say that the flight was delayed at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, which is ridiculous because flights don't fly in the early hours of the morning. I phoned EasyJet and it took me 6 times to get through to them. Twice it was cut off. And then when I did get through, the lady told me to carry on with my plans and go on ahead to the airport.
Oh my God.
And booked in special assistance, what I normally do. And the lady at special assistance told me that my flight had been cancelled. So that was the first I heard, that the flight had actually been cancelled. And my husband checked the board and it said that it was cancelled.
So you had no knowledge of this cancelled flight until you were actually already at the airport.
Disgusting.
And the special assistants who told you. I mean, yeah. Did you have any idea why? Were you told why?
No.
That's awful.
I had briefly looked on the internet to say that there was disruption with their lines. I just really thought it was just some sort of.
Making sure knows about flying, isn't it now? And Ray's like, is it worth going to the airport and going abroad if this is going to happen? So again, so soon again.
As I said, the special assistance lady told me that it had been cancelled. There was no EasyJet customer service desk to go. There's drop off where you check in your bags, and I mean there was massive queues of people trying to get obviously for their flights as well. So it was the first.
As I noticed with the trains, there's been 2 years of a major signalling failure on the whole of the South Wales Railway network every 2 years. There was one in the year 2021, June, and another one this year, again, around about May or so, or June this year. So I think all this stuff that happens, there's no excuse any longer. Even on the trains, this country of England needs to put itself together. All the people that work in those departments need to do a better job, in my opinion.
I now have to wait for them to contact the relevant department to get a further test. It was a very important test as well because
this is not good.
This is a yearly CT angiogram that you have after having transplant, and it tells you how your heart's working and if it's going well, and you're hoping it is, but you still have that in your back of your head that is there something wrong or isn't there something wrong? And you just wait for the good news, hopefully, that you get when you CT. It would have meant that I wasn't going back to Newcastle for a check-up for 6 months' time, being seen in Belfast, but that's put that back now.
Well, Serena, thank you very much for talking to us. I really hope that you managed to get through to the hospital and you managed to get that scan, that crucial scan, put back in your diary and rescheduled for you. And we hope that the stress dissipates somewhat around your condition. Thank you so much for speaking to us this morning.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Awful.
2028, and do keep in touch with us and let us know if you're affected by these ongoing delays as well. John is here with the sport.
So if you like this video, please thumbs up. Subscribe to my show on Sunday Gems. That's my friend Sparky and Jimbo, ITF Friday thing every Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. analog, just like 1500 Sunday Gem, ITF Friday thing every Friday on Surrey Hills Race Station. And this is my friend Sparky and Jimbo every Friday. And this is my friends John and Matt on Lara Show every Sunday, live at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Woking Race Station Show, on Lara Show. And this is my friends Shane for the years every 2 weeks on Monday afternoon on Surrey Hills Race Station every 2 weeks at 2 to 3 p.m. And this is 1400 to 1500 p.m. every 2 weeks on Shane's Radio Station Show through the years on the Surrey Hills Race Station in the afternoon. Please subscribe to my show on Sunday Gems on the Force will be always great spot, needs and the many. We need to have much video. Bye.